All right, Adalyn, so in front of you are several words, and we're gonna do a word sort today. More of a word match. Look, I think I found the missing one. Stuck. So you're gonna take either the word or the definition, you can go in whatever order you want, and you're gonna match the word to the definition. Again, you may know them, you may not know all of them, and that's okay. Just do your best, and you can start whenever you're ready.
Right now, because
Just lay it right on top of the one that.
not being ornate.
Not being ornate, so that would be like flashy and bedazzled and extra, you know what I mean?
Ornate
Or showy.
showy but plain or
Understated.
Victoria.
Try, see what you think. Look at all your choices. Okay. And then as you get through some of your other definitions, you know, you may want to switch some up. We'll see.
Ordinary.
Okay. If you can't read anything in my handwriting, just let me know.
To present, encourage, or demand
Strongly. And if you can't read any of these words, just let me know. So you have, what's this word?
Candidate.
Candidate. There you go.
Victorious, oppose, urge, territory, energetic, connect.
And then read your definition again.
To present, encourage, or demand strongly.
Okay. So if you're encouraging or you're demanding strongly, I really think you need to go to the pool today rather than just sit in the house. It's going to be really hot outside, but it's a nice day. I really think you should. Well, you really think you should think about it.
Energetic.
And try it. Okay. See what else you get.
A geographic area belongs to or under the jurisdiction
Very good sounding out.
or a governmental authority.
Okay, so let's look at that. So first, it's a what area?
Geographic area.
Okay, so think about geography, land masses, right? And then it belongs to or under the jurisdiction of a governmental authority. So look at your remaining words and see if you have anything that would fit that bill.
Candidate.
Okay, try it.
Of or relating to energy is what? Energy.
And it's just like an end.
Okay. Energy of operating with marked vigor.
Vigor.
Vigor or effort.
So it's saying it's of or relating to
Energy.
energy. So that's probably going to be your like base or your root word. And don't forget, you may have covered some, and you might want to change. You know, you might decide one works better than the other as you're working through them, and that's okay.
Can I skip that one?
You can, yeah.
To bring together or into connect.
Into contact.
Okay.
So to bring together or to contact.
Connect.
Okay.
Have one. Having one at something such as a contest, battle, or election.
So you've won something. You've won a battle or a contest or an election. So if you won something, you're the what? You're the winner. Okay, there's a winner and a loser in contests. Okay. So let's look at your remaining words.
Victorious.
Okay.
Let's say candidate.
Okay.
One that appears.
Aspires. So if you're aspires, it means you're working toward, that's your goal, you're working toward that.
Oh.
Like if you were aspiring to get an A in reading.
One that aspires to or is nominated or
Qualified.
qualified for an office.
So one that aspires to, or is nominated to, or is qualified for an office.
Oppose.
Okay. And then you have 2 left.
To place over or against something so as to provide resistance, counterbalance, or contrast.
So if you're placing it against something, okay, you're counterbalancing it, or you're providing resistance. You know, sometimes when you get your physical and the doctor says, all right, then let me push your arms down, then let me push your arms down. Okay. Okay. All right, so let's look at your first one. The word is candidate, having won at something, such as a contest, a battle, or an election, is a candidate. Okay, so a candidate, right now we're having presidential debates. We have a lot of people vying for the office of president, right? Because we have a presidential election coming up in November of 2020. So all of those people, including our current president, are candidates, okay? So that means that for some reason they feel like they're qualified to run for that office of president. But eventually they have to be nominated by the Republican or the Democratic parties, by their respective parties, to run as the final candidate that mom and dad will go and vote for in November. Because there's like 15 of them now, but you have to narrow that field down to the people who are really qualified to run for that office. Okay, so look at your definitions. It is not that one, but look at your other definitions based on my explanation and see if there's one that works for that. And if you're not sure, it's okay to say I'm not sure. Should look in these 4 right here. Look at these. Focus on those 4. Your word is candidate. Like presidential candidate or class president candidate.
This one?
It's a geographic area. So a geographic area, if it's geography, that's like a landmass. Like Middletown, MOT, M-O-T, is the Middletown, Odessa, Townsend area. It's a geographic area. Okay, so if this is geographic, this is in reference to land and not a person. This is a person. Okay, to place over or against something, so you're causing resistance to something. Let's look at this one. One that aspires to or is nominated or is qualified for an office. Okay, so again, by the time we get to the presidential election, the actual vote will decide who we think is really a qualified candidate to be in the White House to run the country. Okay, so that's that one. All right, so that means we got an empty definition out there, and you've got one here. Okay. All right, let's look at this next one. Remember, we said this is a landmass. This is having to do with an area, geographic area. Okay, and you said territory, and that is correct. Okay, so a territory is a geographic area belonging to or under the jurisdiction of a governmental authority. Okay, so we might have, like, the town of Middletown has a mayor. You know, the city of Wilmington has a mayor, okay? And then Delaware is a landmass that has a governor, and their offices are in Dover, okay? So that's a good one, got that one. All right. To urge somebody, to place over or against something so as to provide resistance or counterbalance or contrast, okay? So if I'm urging somebody to do something, remember, I'm like, Alan, you don't sit in the house today. It's like so nice outside. I really think you would enjoy the pool. Just trust me on that one. I really think you would like the pool. Okay, do you think you see one that might?
Alex, you have to watch the second one now.
I would say look between these two.
Okay. You were saying encourage or demand strongly?
Yes, to demand strong. I'm strongly encouraging you. I'm urging you. You really should go to the pool today. Okay? All right, so now you've got two definitions sitting out here, and you've got two words that aren't matched up. Okay. All right, so we said victorious. So if someone's like victorious, yay! Okay, so think about when we were doing the plank contest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had the timer on, and we were in a contest with each other. Who was victorious? Wasn't me, was it? It was Sam, right? Sam was victorious, so he was the winner in the contest or the battle or however, you know. So think about, is there something out there? It's not this one. So you've got these three you can think about. And it's not any of the ones you have here.
Have one at something?
Yes, having won at something such as a contest, a battle, or an election. They are the victor, they're the winner, okay? Very good. All right, so now you've got 2 and 2. Let's look at what you have here. You have ordinary, okay? So I'm just wearing ordinary pair of jean shorts. They're not bedazzled, they're not ripped, they're not embroidered or fancy in any way, okay? Okay, not being ornate or showy, but just plain, very understated. Okay, so if you think about the bride is very fancy and she's the center of attention. The bridesmaids tend to not be as showy. Okay, they're supposed to kind of accessorize her, not overdo her or outdo her. Does that make sense? Okay, so very good, you got that one. Okay, all right, so what do we have now? Distant, okay? Having a great amount of space or separation, okay? 2 distant points, right? You have the starting line and the finish line. Sometimes they seem more distant than others if you haven't trained well, right? All right, let's see what we have here. This one says connect. So if you're connecting something, to bring together or into contact, they have to be in contact to be connected. Okay? All right, so we said those were all right. So now you have these 2 and these 2. So you gotta figure out which one you think goes to which. You have, what's this word again?
Energetic.
And
Oppose.
oppose. Okay. So when we're opposing someone in a contest, right, to